Well, my name is Grandon Gill, and I'm a professor at the University of South Florida, and am a fellow and governor of the Informing Science Institute. And my particular interest in research is doing research that has a visible impact on practice. I don't really care about affecting other researchers. I'm much more interested in affecting practice. And my training includes an MBA from Harvard Business School, which involved discussing 900 case studies, about 10 years of practical experience both in the Navy and in agribusiness, and then a doctorate at Harvard Business School where I learned the craft of writing case studies and performing case research. And as I moved to the schools that employed me after I left my doctorate, Florida Atlantic University and now the University of South Florida, one of the things I discovered is that my set of skills and interests somewhat diverge from that of a typical faculty member. So I'm always looking for opportunities to put my skills and interests to work. So when I heard about the eSkills Institute and what they were trying to do, essentially have a research agenda that impacted practice and use case methodologies wherever possible, I got very excited. And so at the last meeting of the Informing Science Institute in Porto, Portugal, Wall approached me about, Wall is Wallace Taylor, approached me about the possibility of conducting a workshop here in South Africa in order to help prepare faculty and members of the eSkills Institute to write cases that would have an actual practical impact on the overall eSkills of South Africa. Well, I got very, very excited about this because this is exactly the type of project I want to do. And the eSkills Institute sits in a beautiful place between government and between academic institutions. And the mission is not academic, it's to have an impact, but they want to have an impact through research. Perfect fit with my objectives. So I was fortunate enough to be selected to run this workshop, and we've set it up so that I will come back a number of times as a follow-up, which is absolutely critical for impact. It basically allows me to follow the research agenda that has been so important to me. And by the way, since I have been here, I have never felt so welcome anywhere as I have over the last 5 days. Well, this is something that's been a real pleasure to me. Whenever I deal with a workshop with faculty, I'm always a little bit concerned about what their reaction is going to be, because in the United States, your typical faculty member starts a doctoral program very young. For 4 to 5 years, they're trained in a particular way of thinking. For the next 6 years, they are basically struggling to create papers according to the way they've been trained so that they can get tenure. And they don't really have the freedom to think for themselves until 10 or 11 years after they started, by which point most of them have accepted the conventional wisdom about what research is. So I always get a little nervous when I'm going to present my ideas to faculty, because my background and my interests are somewhat different. What has really surprised me about this group is the extent to which they have embraced the ideas that I have been presenting. They clearly get it as far as the purpose of cases, and I know this because just a few hours ago we went through a presentation of 12 case ideas that they will pursue over the next 6 months, and all of them are great. I mean, there isn't a single one that I'm saying to myself, well, this is a real dud. All of them have tremendous potential. Now, there will be challenges implementing these things, but there are challenges for everyone when they try to implement these ideas. But I'm extremely optimistic about what I will see as I come back. And I cannot tell you how gratifying it is. On a personal level, as I say, I've never felt so welcome. I have had, we've been eating together at the hotel. We've been chatting between sessions. I'm learning a lot about South Africa from these discussions, and this is the whole reason for doing something like this, because I definitely did not come here in order to experience 72 hours on a plane coming here and going back. Well, I believe the potential for publication of these case studies is very high. Most of them are going to start out as discussion cases, and since I'm the editor-in-chief of a journal that publishes discussion cases in the IT area, the Journal of IT Education, discussion cases, the likelihood that they will be published is very, very high, because part of our journal's mission is to mentor new case developers so they become better and better at case writing. So that means if we have to go through a number of cycles to get a case so that it will be effective in the classroom or in conferences or in discussions with executives, we will take the time to do that, because that is central to our mission. What I'm also seeing here is that there is a lot of research that has already been done as part of e-skills, and much of it is just waiting to be framed up and published. And I believe that as part of the process of writing the discussion cases, what we're also going to get is some very good research cases, which are a different animal. They're structured differently. You don't want to mix the two, but the two come from a common core of knowledge. And as that knowledge is formalized in the discussion case, the opportunity to turn that into research cases that will end up in top-tier research publications is very high as well. Well, my time in Cape Town has really been wonderful. Normally when I go to places, I do not see anything but the room in my hotel and the venue where a conference is being held. When I travel for purposes of attending conferences or doing workshops, I tend to be very, very goal-directed. Well, Wal Taylor has taken me all over Cape Town and given me a chance to really see some of the sights like Table Mountain and the ocean, and we've had a experience walking all over the place, eating at wonderful restaurants. We went to the V&A sort of mall or center, whatever you call it, and it has given me a wonderful opportunity to visit a city that I had no idea what it was like. I mean, I literally, when I was told I was going to come to Cape Town, I did not have any idea. And it has really expanded my horizons. It's opened my eyes to South Africa, and it has been very exciting. And actually, it's a real pleasure for me to come to a place where I can actually drink the water and where I feel comfortable walking the streets. And this is, this has been a really interesting place, so interesting that I'm very seriously considering taking my wife with me when I come back for the November eSkills Summit, because she is going to be so jealous when I come back here, come back to Florida after this trip, that I'm going to have to do something. The training venue has been extraordinary, much better than I'm used to, and probably better than you'd ever get at my institution. The breakout rooms served a wonderful purpose when we were trying to develop case ideas. The food service has been excellent. The lighting has been great. We haven't had a lot of technology problems. I was able to log into the wireless network, and I didn't have to worry about running into a 100 megabyte limit that I have in my hotel. It's really been much, much easier than I expected it to be.